You were telling me pre-call or pre-show that you just love to talk about herbalism, whether you're teaching a class or just talking to your fellow herbalist friends. You just can't get enough of it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's funny. I have this large herbal library, and most people, if they walk into my office, they just look around, their eyes glaze over, and they go, "Wow, that's a lot of books." Every once in a while, somebody walks in and they go, and their eyes light up, and they go, "Oh my God, look at this!" I have books from like 1580 to current. And the same thing is true about herbs. When I first started learning about herbal medicine in the late 1960s, I always kid around and say all my friends were interested in one herb, and I was interested in all the other ones.
I
And
think I know which one that is.
yeah, well, that herb's even more popular today.
Sure.
So, but the thing about it is that there was a long period of time where I actually believed, I was wrong, but I believed I was the only herbalist on the East Coast. There were other people, mostly in rural communities or ethnic communities, kind of hidden away. They may have been well known in their communities, but they weren't well known outside of their communities. And I had found this thing called herbal medicine. And my first herb book was Stalking the Wild Asparagus by Yule Gibbons. And the second one was his book, Stalking the Healthful Herbs. And this idea that I could walk outside into the woods and fields, and luckily I always lived nearby where there were woods and fields nearby, and I could find medicine, I could find food, plants with economic uses. To me, that was just the most amazing thing in the world. It was just, and so it didn't matter for a long time that no one else was interested. And I mean, no one. In my first 2-year herb studies program, I think that was in 1980, I had 2 students. And I was thrilled because the idea that anybody else wanted to learn it. So for me, herbs are just as amazing, exciting, and fascinating to me now as they were when I started studying about them 54 years ago. And so to me, the idea of sitting around, having somebody else who's interested and wants to hear about herbs, and then listeners who want to hear about herbs and want to know a little bit about something about my experience and my relationship to these plants is just amazing and wonderful, because I do remember a time when no one seemed like they were interested at all.
I have to ask, those 2 students you had back in the day, are you aware if they're actually still into herbalism to this day or practicing at all?
One of them I have lost touch with, but the other one, who is a physician's assistant, still practicing medicine and still uses herbs.
It's amazing. I love to hear it.